Well, hello Mod and Pop Thrift. Welcome back to the channel. The door didn't shut, and it is -6 degrees out here. Doesn't feel bad. The wind's blowing a little bit, but I'm protected by the house at the moment. Anyway, the store, that made a difference. The store is not heated, so I'm just gonna grab the stuff that's out here. Oh, we made a sale, I think. Yeah. Vintage Revere ware, that's in the house too, because it came back as a return. Anyway. So I'm just grabbing the stuff from out of here and then taking it inside, and we're doing the shipping. Yeah. There is no mail today because it's Martin Luther King Day, and that is definitely worth celebrating. Martin Luther King is, like, I know everybody's like, he's amazing, you know, but like, he's maybe like a modern prophet. Like, he's probably the best, like, person, American to be alive. Like, he spoke truth to power and unapologetically laid down his life for the things that he believed in, which were truth and justice in the name of God. So, like, yeah, so let's take a pause and celebrate Dr. King today. But also, this stuff has to go out, and I have a family to raise. So I'm going to work, even though the post office isn't going to work. And I'm glad they get the day off when it's -6 degrees outside. So this pattern on Mickey, fairly common amongst textiles, is known as houndstooth. And this little Mickey purse we picked up for 50 cents. And it's a Parks purse. And it sold. Took it a long time. It sold for $11. Well, a long time. I mean, I think I've had it less than a year. Sold for $11 plus shipping. So if you follow the channel, you'll know what the retro truckload sale was in October. They have big, huge yard sales out in Fulton County, like an hour drive from me. And we found a whole bunch of vintage video game stuff and 80s toys at a yard sale. And we ended up literally filling the bed of my truck entirely and gave the guy $525. And we got a bunch of Sega Genesises, and I made some shorts and taught you guys about Sega Genesis. But this clip sold for $21 plus shipping. $21 free shipping. And it was stuck to the bottom of one of the Sega Genesises. And what it is for is it's a barrier between, if you're not familiar with the Tower of Power, so you get like your Sega Genesis, and if you have a Model 1, you need a Model 1 CD drive. And if you have a Model 2, you need a Model 2 CD drive of the Sega Genesis, and then Sega CD. You mount the Sega CD doesn't have a processor of its own necessarily. It just you can't play it by itself. You have to attach it to your Sega. And so then it plays disc-based games on through your Sega Genesis. So it mounts underneath, and this is part of what you need to mount it. And this piece was stuck to a Genesis, and I pulled it off and sold it separately, knowing what it was. But if you find a Sega Genesis that has like little metal brackets on the bottom of them, those are expensive. This is a $21 piece of metal. I picked up this blanket, and I'll just put a picture up of it. I should just use it and keep myself warm. I thought it was going to be amazing, and it is nice. And I paid $12 for it, and it sold for $40 free shipping. And we'll make a little bit of money, but there weren't any listed that I could find when I was at Goodwill. The only one that I could find that was close was like $125. So I thought I had something really special that there weren't any listed of. Then I came home and I did some more research and I found it, and it was like a $40 blanket. So 12 into 40 isn't great, but it wasn't as good as I hoped it would be. And it took probably 3 or 4 months to sell. These are PFG zip away shorts, pants, cargo, and they're like swishy, like, well, if you look real close, those little squares mean they're rip stop. That's what kind of fabric that is. and it's if I hold them up to the light, they're fairly thin, so you get an idea for what these are. But cargo khaki stuff is on the way back into fashion. The zip away stuff, the fishing. So this isn't something that I would have expected to sell this time of year, but if you're seeing zip aways and cargo jean shorts or cargo khaki shorts, those are on the way back. So pick them up cheap, and I suspect this summer that's going to be a big deal. Stampin' Up! Evidently there's been some controversy over it. Stampin' Up! I don't follow any news sources at all. I avoid it like the plague, so I don't know what that is, but evidently there was some intrigue and mystery and bad press with Stampin' Up! So somebody commented in the video where I picked this up, like, maybe you're going to start seeing a lot of that because people are dumping it because of the controversy with the company. But that did sell $40, $30 plus shipping, and I paid $3 for it last week. Hard Rock Cafe. Anyway, it's from Edinburgh, Scotland, and then I got it in Morton, Illinois, and for like 50 cents at a garage sale, and it sold for $20. Free shipping to me, but I'm sure they paid a lot in shipping to get it to Germany, which is a little bit of an odd globe hopping t-shirt. Captain America. I think this is a Youth XL or something. It wasn't worth picking up. I guess it says it's a medium, and it looks like it'll probably, and medium, it must be a men's. It's sold for $7 plus shipping. I don't generally pick up Marvel t-shirts anymore. I did for a while when Goodwill was cheaper, and when I thought that selling a shirt for $7 plus shipping was worth my time. Boy, it is just dangerous cold out here, and my fingers are really starting to hurt just from touching the screen and stuff. Presto Salad Master. We've talked about this. I paid $3 and change for this, and it didn't come with the power cord. So I sold the pieces off, and none of them bring very much money, but this brought $13 free shipping, and this is the last piece to sell. So from in the house, this Revereware sold. It sold before, and then the person just didn't like it, so they returned it, and it sold again within a couple of days of being listed. And then this FootJoy sweatshirt sold, $21 plus shipping. It got traction immediately. Like in the first hour it was listed, it had 3 views and 2 watchers. And then I recomped it, and I was like, I should add shipping to that because it was $21 free shipping is what I listed it as. And after 3 or 4 days, it sold for $21 plus shipping. The Shetland wool Land's End made in Scotland sweater sold for $30 free shipping. Again, that was at the last time I went to Goodwill, so I picked that up and it sold pretty darn quick. These Vans weren't as valuable as I'd hoped they'd be, but they were $15 plus shipping and sold in a day or two. The Casio keyboard, I had to take it apart. I guess I showed you guys I was sitting right here, and I took it apart and cleaned it, and it did work, and it sold. I listed it for like $125 and took an $80 offer. It turns out I was wrong, and mine wasn't the only one listed. I was just looking it up by the part number, and there were a bunch of people who had them listed just by the name, like Rap Master or whatever, instead of RAP-1 Casio. That's the way I looked it up, and when I looked it up, I didn't see any listed, but there weren't any with the part number, but there were some the same ones, but the people just didn't use the part number in their title. So there were some others listed, but anyway, I got an $80 free shipping for something I paid $3 for this week. This Russell sweatshirt sold. It doesn't exist. I'm going to have to take a defect on that because it's in a box that I know we reused that box for Halloween decorations when we were putting Halloween decorations away. So it's not here anymore. That box isn't here anymore, and I don't know where that shirt would be. So the inventory location that it says it's in isn't there, and I think it probably got donated. I made just a fatal error. When I listed those Boy Scout patches, it was $7. I paid $7.50 for them. I listed them at auction for $9 plus shipping, and they got one bid. I bet that person would have bid at $12 plus shipping, but I thought maybe I would attract some more attention if I listed them low, but they got one bid. So, I mean, the buyer's all in at like 17, and it'll probably cost me like 5 or 6 to ship, and after fees I've got $14.50, something like that. So if it costs me $5 to ship, I will essentially make like $1. But I should have listed those at a higher start on the auction, and somebody would have bid $12.50, and then I could make a little bit of money. But they weren't a great purchase, and I kind of knew that. I expected to list them at auction if I won them, and then I listed the shoes that I got at the same time. I sold the 2 shoes that were valuable, and then I listed the other ones for $24 at auction. They got 0 bids, so I listed them for a penny at auction, and looks like they're going to end at a penny plus shipping, just to cut my losses on those. And I mean, I'm losing money, but I'm getting traffic in the store. And would it really be better to give them away, donate them to Goodwill? Maybe. I mean, I think you could make that argument, but I did what it did. When this audiobook was new, I was driving a vehicle that had a CD player in it that I used with some frequency. And so I bought this Bible CD, the New Testament, and it's fantastic. It's legit actors playing these roles, doing voice acting. It's spectacular. But it's not something that I'm going to put much use to anymore, and we were reorganizing stuff, and I needed to thin out some shelves. And so I was like, I'm never actually going to sit down and listen to that, and or listen to it in the car, because like it's the kind of thing you do like by yourself. And when I had a job and I was driving back and forth, and I had a truck that I was driving for my job that had a CD in it, like that made sense. But it doesn't make sense to like listen while I'm driving Evelyn to school or whatever. So anyway, I listed this for $15, and it sold in a couple of days. But if you're into audiobooks or the Bible in general, this is a really good piece if you have use for it. It's cool. Okay, so recently Mrs. Mod and Pop has been doing a lot of the helping. She's took pictures of 15 items, and we worked together to ship like 20 items the other day, and I made this really awesome video about it. And then because I was deleting a bunch of photos that were things that she sent me so that I could list them from my phone, I was deleting a bunch of stuff, and I deleted the whole video of her helping. So shout out Mrs. Mod and Pop, killing it, taking pictures, getting stuff shipped, really helping me to grow the business, which is fantastic. I told somebody I'm trying to get her to Candace Honeycutt level. We'll see about that. Like we're no longer working and figuring out her niche in the reselling business. But with 6 children, the health insurance and stability that comes with a regular job is really appealing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so we had a bunch of stuff shipped the other day, and I lost the video, so we'll lightning round that stuff. We paid $7.50 for 13 Janet Ivanovich books, and they sold for 26 in a couple of days. Paid $20 for these ski pants that look like designer jeans. They're called Holden, and they sold, it probably took them 6 weeks, but they sold for $50. This old faded out yellow Harley Davidson that is it's like 2008, but it looks like it's from the 80s because it's so worn in. Rice Lake, Wisconsin, sold for $14. PlayStation socks I paid $7.50 for, and I paid $7.50 for a different set that was Sega, and those sold for the list price of $24 right before Christmas. I got an offer for $17 on these, and I just took it because there aren't a lot of people out there looking for PlayStation 1 socks. For all of you guys pulling for Levi to get the jacket, it's over. It has shipped to a buyer for $55. You had honestly almost had me convinced, and then it sold. So it's gone now. But if I find another one, he can keep that one. Sold for $55 plus shipping to somebody in California who undoubtedly will make money on it. Paid $10 for this car alarm on High-Bid auction, and it sold. The comps that I was looking at were new in box comps for new old stock ones that were like 50 up. This one was used, untested, and didn't have any accessories, so I couldn't justify listing it higher. So it sold for $36 plus shipping, which, I mean, paying $10 and getting $36 plus shipping in a week is good, but I thought I was really going to get a home run with it. Florida Marlins, I picked this up on Whatnot, and I paid $10 for it, but it was dead stock sports specialties, but it was fitted, and that's a problem. And Florida Marlins aren't the best team in the world, so it didn't do great. $17. I got it for $10 free shipping because I was buying a bunch of other stuff. So I made a little bit, but I also probably sold it way cheaper than I needed to, but I wanted it to move quick because that's my deal. And the $5 Tervis Minnie Mouse mug, not mug, whatever it is, the insulated tumbler thing, water bottle. I paid $5.50 for it, and it sold for $23.50 free shipping in just a couple of days. So that recaps everything that we lost because I deleted the videos. So we got the shipping done, but now this is what the house looks like when you have to do your small business inside the house.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping.
You're welcome. He doesn't have a cold. This is not.
This is B. Dot having a cold.
Yeah.
Tell them to like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
We'll see you on the next one.